Hello everyone, good afternoon from Williams Media. It is AdrianJWilliams bringing you live headline news from our studio down in London. We do apologise for the slightly late start. I was having some slight issues there with the microphone. I've got a new headset and the microphone didn't seem to be working on that, so I've gone back to the old one and hopefully everything should go alright. Anyway, moving on to the headline news for today. A lot has certainly happened overnight with developments in both Bolivia, the Falklands, and of course Jersey and Afghanistan. There does seem to be a lot of conflict, certainly in the foreign affairs side of things. So, starting off with the main thing, obviously, that happened first was Bolivia. Now, as has been reported already on Williams Media, Bolivia issued a statement on Christmas Day, I believe. Yes, on Christmas Day, condemning the Falkland Islands for existing and demanding that they cease to exist, alongside the rest of the neo-British colonial imperial empire, as they said. They call for the destruction of Anglo-imperialism globally. Now, when asked for a statement, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Michael Rothschild, said that basically, hang on, let me find it. Where was it? There we go. He said, Bolivia are just trolls. Their lack of military poses no threat to the Falkland Islands or United Kingdom. This statement was followed up by a statement from the chief executive released in the United Nations press statement channel, where he said the Falkland Islands government condemns Bolivia's recent statement for calling for the destruction of our sovereignty and the broader attack on Anglo-imperialism. Our people have consistently chosen to remain a British overseas territory, and we will not tolerate any threat to our right to self-determination. We urge Bolivia to abandon such provocative and rhetoric and engage in respectful dialogue with all nations. The Falklands reserve the right to reassert their territorial integrity by any means found at its disposal. We strongly urge the Bolivian government to issue a formal public apology, and we strongly urge our dear allies and friends to condemn this action. God save the King. So that was what the Falklands had to say about it from the chief executive, Dragged Fork, who was the one who initially brought the whole ordeal to my attention, and then obviously he issued that statement. However, things continued to develop from there onwards, with Bolivia issuing a further statement. Now, the Falklands Island government apologises to the Republic of Bolivia. The president of Bolivia accepted the Falklands government apologies. Whenever they say government here, they put it in quotation marks. And President of Bolivia commended their surrender to Latin America Republic of Argentina. The English here isn't the best, I will say. However, and consistently chosen to remain an integral part of Argentina, not tolerating any threat to Argentina's territorial integrity, and urging the British colonial regime to abandon such provocative rhetoric against the Islas Malvinas, rightful part of Argentina, and to instead engage in a respectful dialogue with all nations. We strongly urge the British colonial regime to issue a formal public apology, and we strongly urge our dear allies and friends and allies to condemn this action against the innocent Malvine residents. Obviously, the Malvines being this sort of, I believe, Argentinian name for the Falkland Islands. So that was essentially that from Bolivia. I'm not sure how true that is with the Falklands apologising, since obviously the Falklands didn't apologise to anyone for existing. They just they condemned it, in fact. However, things took even more of a turn when the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which for the other also known as North Korea, issued a statement from Pyongyang with their great leader launching a Hwasong, apologies for any mispronunciation there, intercontinental ballistic missile towards the imperialist state of Bolivia. So basically a nuclear weapon was launched from North Korea towards Bolivia. The State Affairs Commissioner of the DPRK released a statement earlier this evening earlier last evening now, supporting the Latin Republic of the Falklands against the imperialist Bolivians. So the socialist Korean nation denounces the imperialist actions of the Bolivian regime in its attempts to extract an apology from the independent republics of the Falklands, where their imperialist struggle against Bolivian threats was prominently displayed through their courageous actions. We firmly denounce the reactionary Bolivian regime and call for genuine democratic empowerment of the Bolivian working class, free from the yoke of the so-called socialist leadership of Evo Morales. Morales, a opportunist cloaked in the rhetoric of socialism, was portrayed in the revolutionary aspirations of the Bolivian people, steering the nation toward autocracy and undermining the true principles of socialist governments rooted in worker-led democracy and collective liberation. So that was what North Korea had to say about it after having launched a nuclear weapon at Bolivia. And as of now, I do believe that is where the story ends for now. I can't see anything further. Yeah, I believe that was the end of that. However, as all of that was unfolding, there was yet another development in terms of foreign affairs involving British overseas territories, which was, of course, the bombing of Jersey by the Afghanistan Air Force. So basically, what happened was the Afghanistan Air Force flew over Jersey in the early hours of the morning and dropped numerous shells across the islands. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find the press release here. Yeah, here we go. So Afghanistan said at 2:56 earlier this morning that the Afghan Air Force has launched significant air raids against Jersey and the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The Netherlands were also involved with this. B-52 Stratofortresses aircraft on loan from the US took off from the Herat and Bamiyan air bases. Again, apologies for any mispronunciation. The following cities were hit: St. Helier, The Hague, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Eindhoven. Attached is an aerial photograph of St. Helier taken by a flight sergeant on board when the aircraft prior to the streaks being commenced. So there is I can't show it on camera here, but there is a aerial photo, as well as some other pictures of various Afghanistan people. An unnamed major was commended for his performance during the raid on the Hague, personally piloting the aircraft that hit someone's house. Major General J. Waller stated the following: "We will not tolerate threats on Bolivian sovereignty. These strikes may be the beginning of a larger campaign if Bolivian sovereignty is not respected." So again, this is all timed back into the whole issue of Bolivia. Again, I'm not sure if this is a separate issue. I haven't quite had a look beyond that, but certainly these strikes launched primarily the Netherlands, but also at Jersey as well. And the General did not respond to comments about the alleged deployment of a special unit, basically. So continuing from that, the Jersey's reaction to that. Hang on, let me try and find it. Yes. So intelligence reports from Jersey revealed that while Afghan bombs did in fact land across Jersey, none have exploded at this current time. Bearing in mind this was at 7 o'clock this morning. Whether anything has exploded since is to be confirmed. One shell apparently landed in the government house lawn, while multiple unverified reports of shells across Trinity Parish have been received, and no comments from the government have been made at this time. Again, I'm having a look. I cannot see anything that has been released since. Oh, never mind. There is a statement that was released at 1:47, so about an hour ago. Following the defusal of all explosive ordnances on the island, there is no threat to Jersey. Air defence measures protected the island after the first and only bomb hit the grounds of Government House. His Excellency the Lieutenant Governor is alive and well, and no Afghan forces have been found on the island. Earlier emergency guidance has been sent, and the government can verify that there is no threat to Jersey or its citizens. There was various emergency protocols issued within Jersey by the Jersey arm of the BBC earlier this morning, which came up, however, again, as mentioned, now that is now all back to normal following the defusal of the various bombs by the Jersey Field Squadron. So various people from across the Jersey Field Squadron were involved in, or personnel, not people, sorry, were involved in humanitarian aid and supporting the people of Jersey throughout this time. However, all the bombs have apparently been removed. Now, there was a statement from Afghanistan claiming that this was a lie and that they had eyewitnesses of explosions on Jersey. However, again, that claim is to be disputed. So again, yes, lots of developments, lots of bombings, and I'm not sure what the current casualty figures are at the moment. And again, we are unsure as to whether the nuclear bomb from North Korea has actually reached Bolivia at this time. However, it's certainly safe to say that there has been quite a big, response to this situation with Bolivia internationally. Anyway, obviously quite a big, yeah. Anyway, so that was the main thing. Apparently, in a press release as well, released at 8:26, Afghanistan claimed that suicide bombers parachuted into Jersey and are operating in Romanian civilian areas. However, again, as Jersey mentioned earlier, nothing has been, they've had a look and they can't find. There is no threat to any citizens of Jersey. They've had a look and they can't find anything to suggest that Special Forces units have actually landed in Jersey. So it should all be safe. However, obviously, do take care if you are currently in Jersey, because you just never know. Right. Anyway, other news, certainly going back more to the UK, is earlier yesterday evening, the Permanent Secretary to the DCMS and also the Treasury released a joint statement regarding the transition of the Department for Culture, Media and Sport to the control of the Treasury, which came in a 4-point plan, which would start off with turning the DCMS server into a server for Ofcom. So going forwards, after the reforms have been completed, the DCMS server will be utilised purely for Ofcom going forwards. The media house will also be transferred to under the Treasury, so all of the channels for that will be in the Treasury server instead. And Ofcom and media house are both going to have staff reviews as well as some further Ofcom reformations as well. So that is all of those sort of developments. Again, the abolition of the DCMS has been something that has been going backwards and forwards for quite some time now, and it is generally of the popular opinion that it should be abolished, with many criticisers stating that it just simply does not serve any purpose anymore. As we saw from our interview with Dean recently, who was previously quite a big supporter of keeping it, actually came to the conclusion that it's just not worth keeping. It's not very efficient, and its roles could easily be done by the Treasury. Now, other criticisers of the transition, who we've like Shreddy's F1, who I interviewed over text quite a while ago, said that he was worried about what was going to happen to the likes of the football associations. And also another criticism that's come around of quite a lot as well is that they won't necessarily have enough staff for it. People may become overwhelmed. However, other people have argued against that. But generally, it does seem to be the popular opinion that it should be abolished, and therefore the Unionist government has obviously revealed their plans to abolish it as such. So there is not much response to that, their plan from any other parties yet, I don't believe. In fact, I don't think any of the other parties have commented on the new plan to abolish the DCMS server yet. I think those are the main points anyway. Going on to other news as well. Sorry, I can't remember what else I was gonna. Oh yes, at 8 o'clock this evening, the College of St George will be hosting the annual Christmas Royal Matins, which is to be attended by His Majesty the King and the royal family. Obviously, the College of St George being located in the grounds of Windsor Castle. The Dean is absent for unforeseen circumstances, so the celebration will be led by the Canon Steward. The order of service has been released on the Twitter account for the College of St George, which can be found in the Public Services channel of the United Kingdom Discord server. Just having a quick look through that now. There is quite a long order of service, so if you are available, then of course that was probably a good thing to attend. I attended the Christmas Day service by the Church of England the other day that was held in Tower, London, and again it was a very good service. I'm sure we're bound to have another good service there delivered from the Church of England. And so those are the main points really in terms of headline news for today. So just as a quick recap, again we had the incident between the Falklands and Bolivia, which has since been resolved by North Korea nuking Bolivia. That'll be interesting to see how that goes down. But that's currently the latest on that. Is that Bolivia North Korea has responded with the deployment of nuclear weapons, and people have condemned Bolivia as well. And then obviously, again, development with Afghanistan and Jersey's been quite a big topic as well. I do believe there was something else going on between Afghanistan and Israel, however, I'm not entirely sure as to what happened there, so I'm not going to cover that. But that also kicked off as well, and of course, DCMS and Treasury merger is also happening as well. And obviously, as I've just mentioned, we've got the thing with the College of St George this evening at 8 o'clock. So that is all the main things. Another final subject that's just popped into my head is the Formula One has just gained a new chief executive, that being Kingmaster, who is currently an MP, and he will be leading the F1 forwards. That is the another new one. So hopefully that will revive itself. I don't think it revived after the last one. But it'll be good to see Formula One making a return, and if it does, then Williams Media will be providing live coverage of all of the races. Anyway, that is all from me, and my voice is beginning to die a little bit, so I think I'll go and get some water. And hopefully we'll have an interview coming up with the Chief Executive of the Falklands in the nearish future. So those are the main things. Thank you all very much for watching. Happy New Year. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Goodbye. I've been